Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday to everybody over there. I have a question to ask today. We all hurt. Everybody hurts. Life itself is sometimes hard. Many people have challenges, many things happen, and many people have grudges that they hold against one another, malice, and we get aggravated to against one another. Well, I saw this topic today, and I think it's nice, like if we can rock our days together with. The question says, how can we possibly forgive someone who hurts us so deeply? How can we forgive someone who hurts us so deeply? Oh, that's great. Many people, if you see nowadays, they say, I've forgotten, I have forgiven, but I can't forget. Really? Some people say, oh, it's all over, but inside them, they still hold something against one another. Some people will say, I'm done. I don't even want to think about it, but they think every day about it. How do you feel when you see the person who hurts you deeply? Wow, that's great. Let's see some. I have some little bit of talks about this. Everybody will say I have forgiven, but I personally would say that for that forgiving process to, for forgiving process to take place, there must be a healing process, shape taking shape. Forgiving means no more traces of hate, because when you are annoyed, it's and you're hurting, it is attached to hate. Hate in you consumes you. How do we deal with hate? We have to let our hearts be free of it. We have to be able to forgive ourselves for allowing people to hurt us that far. And we have to also consider the people who hurt us, that they are human beings like us. They are not perfect. Things happen because they are meant to happen. Many will say, I have forgiven, but I can't forget. Is that in the Bible like that? Is it in the Bible like that or Quran? Let's rock with this because many have a lot of loads on their back that they travels with, which makes them moody at times and also drives them nuts. I was just enlightened that the best way to always remember the best way to forgive is to always remember all the good things done to us instead of the bad odds. Well, when we come to talk about the real deal, who can hurt you to get you annoyed that much? I would say people outside the streets that you don't know. If they hurt you, it's just temporarily, it's just at the moment, and you just forget it, you just even overlook it. But the person who hurts you most, that makes you to get much aggravated, is that one that is so dear to your heart. The people who are closer to you, your loved ones. So how do we get over it? Well, when we think of all the bad things they have done, how they have gone so far, but I believe one day they have done so much good. If we could replace those good times to the bad times that with the bad times that they hurt us, I think it will ease some burden in our hearts. Really. Look at the question of two lovers. They love each other initially. It was fun, it was nice, it was honey, it was darling, it was true, sweetheart, it was all that, oh there, I love you, I miss you, sort of things like that. And a day happens after so many years of marriage. The man came home, the woman caught his wife, his husband, cheating on her. The whole mess just started like that. And it's hot, and it sobs, and it's bad. It's it's annoying. All the things. It's unbearable. It's unforgivable. Oh, it's something that you never thought of. Oh gosh. But at the end of the day, if we could just look how it happens, if couples can just sit down and say, oh darling, how does that happen? When has it? When did we allow it to just escape out of our hands? Did you remember so and so days? In those days when we used to go to parties, when we used to dance together, when we used to let others come into our lives, and all kinds of things like that. In that wise, we will be able to forget all that is hurting, all that is painful, all that is disappointed, that is disappointing in the situation. Then we can release, because now we are thinking of the good times. We could release the bad times, and we can be at peace, because the moment we are annoyed, everybody gets hurt. We argue, we never want to see the reason, we judge, we accuse, we get bitter, we just don't want to just give it down. All these things happen to individuals because we are hurting. And when we are hurting, we hate. When we hate, we don't forgive. And when we don't forgive, we don't even want to see the face. Even when we see the face, we get so bad and so mad. In that wise, we need something to do about it. So the best way is replacing the good things that people have done to us, to make them see it like we have to let go, we have to forgive. Can you imagine husband married for years, and his wife having a long time hold on or grudge against him? I could even read from an auntie. She said, life is so short. Why don't we just live it? Why don't we just be happy? Why don't we just be thankful to whatever situation we find ourselves? We thank God for all what God has done to us, gone for us, what we have achieved, the good times and the ugly times, and we let be and let's move on. Like life moves on. Let go on. Okay. Also, you are free to talk about when you're hurt. When you're hurt, you're free to talk about your pain to people, because you have to let it out. Because when it's inside, you're consuming yourself. But when you release it into the atmosphere, into the people listening to you, or you just saying it, you just trying to get all the annoyance out of you, then you are doing a great job. Then you can now accept the forgiveness into you. Actually, it's difficult to forget. It's difficult to forget because if we look at the phrase that says we learn from our mistakes, Everybody must be able to learn from one's mistake. That makes learning to take place, and experience is the best teacher. We don't want to make the same mistakes anymore, and in order to not to make the same mistakes anymore, we must learn. We must learn from our mistakes. We must learn from our mistakes, and we must avoid committing the same kind of mistake again. To allow unforgiveness will enable you to forgive when you need to. Can you imagine? We also commit sins to God, and He never bothers to hold it on us. Immediately He forgives. And also if God can forgive us, if people can forgive us, we should also be able to forgive one another in order to live happily among people, in order to live happily with ourselves, in order to be released of bondage of being unforgiven, consumed by hatred, being moody. We need a lot of forgiveness. You can imagine people who smile so much. People imagine these people don't have any problem. Yes, sometimes they have problems, but they take life so easy. Not that they are not hurt too, not that they are not offended too, but they try to wave it away. They try to live on. They let go, and they accept the fact that things happen for a reason, and without being that reason, it won't happen. I hope you enjoy this, and I know that you always love to hear from me. Enjoy your time. Thanks. Have a nice Sunday.